Alan, Pegasystems, thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, Brian.
Take us through your journey. I mean, you are not a tech startup that started yesterday. You founded the company in 1983. How are you guys making money?
Well, you know, I think we've reinvented ourselves a couple of times, and the way I describe the business is that we became an overnight success after 24 years. So it's taken a lot of persistence and perseverance, but the business is now doing extremely well. We're finding that the space we operate in, which is the intersection of engaging customers better with digital process automation to make businesses more efficient, is a hot topic right now as people think about digital transformation.
What are some of the fastest growth areas in your business? I mean, you call out a key stat on your earnings call, 22% growth in average contract value. That's a pretty big number.
It's annual, just to be clear, and annual contract value is how we're looking to think about the business as the accounting laws or the accounting rules have changed pretty dramatically from last year to this year. It provides, I think, a really good foundation for people to see growth in the business, and it's growth of recurring revenue, which is, from my point of view, the best kind. So
company comes to you, what are some of the cool things they're asking for today?
Well, you know, at Pega World, where we're going to have 5,000 customers, prospects, partners there in just a couple of weeks, June 4th and 5th, we're going to have customers on the main stage talking about amazing accomplishments. Organizations like Anthem, which have both improved service and had great cost reductions in terms of the way they do things. Firms like JP Chase, finding new ways to innovate using high performance analytics and tying that to action.
How are you working with a PayPal and Raytheon? Those two names stick out to me, one, because we're always writing about them here. What do they look to you to do?
Well, we've been privileged to work with PayPal for many years, and even though they love to write lots of their own software in-house, they decided to stand up their global customer service backbone. Over 5,000 of their staff use us to provide spectacular service to their customers. And Raytheon is using us for process improvement, how to make the internal processes, the way they just get work done, way more efficient.
Are machines just going to take over?
I think not. I think that the fear of the machine age is greatly overblown, and in reality we're going to see that the machines are going to free us to be a lot more, I would say, creative and a lot more effective in delivering what we want to deliver.
Where do you stand on data? As a veteran in the tech industry, where do you stand on data privacy and protection?
Well, you know, I believe that there have been many situations where we've seen companies go too far, and I think consumers need to have their data rights respected, and we've gotten a bit of a wake-up call, though I'm not sure it's entirely sunk in. We got to get it so companies stop putting these terms of service up that are completely impenetrable and expect people to give away their rights without actually reading them. I think we need to come together as an industry and put some standards in place, or we won't like what governments do to us.
Sure. What about cybersecurity? It feels as though companies are still not prepared for being hacked.
Well, it's a ongoing battle, and the hackers get smarter. They find vulnerabilities, they find weaknesses, and I think that only with well-architected software do you have a chance of actually having the ability to keep them out. You know, one of the things we've always obsessed about is architecture, making sure that what we're doing hangs together and really fits right.
Sure. What about M&A? Pretty clean balance sheet for you guys. You've bought some companies in the past. Where's your head at right now?
Yeah, so I think that's an interesting, has an interesting relationship to the comment about architecture, because we do M&A and we find organizations that we think can help us add to our product line and help benefit our customers. But for us, it's very important that a company we buy really fits in to a coherent architecture. What I find sort of laughable today is you've got companies doing slews of acquisitions, calling everything some cloud or another, and pretending that miraculously everything will just all work together. You know, I think they're going to get the same results that IBM got when it bought slews of companies, and you know, the 29 products at a Watson really haven't delivered. I think that we're going to see some of those turning points happen in the market.
So things are so hot, you think companies just throwing money after, good money after bad?
Well, I don't know that it's good money after bad, but I think it's throwing money without thinking about how the puzzle pieces actually become a customer-facing whole.
Sure.
You know, I do believe that understanding how things fit together and making them fit is an important part of having a sustainable company, in our view.
Anything on your radar screen in the next year?
Well, we got a lot on our radar screen. We have so much going on in terms of the marriage of artificial intelligence with process automation for customer benefit that I think it's frankly playing to a sweet spot. We've been working on for years, this digital transformation word is kind of what we were born to do.
How big is this AI? I went to your website and you kind of poke fun at it a little bit, which is hilarious, but how big is AI?
Well, depends how you define it. Yeah. And if you define it as I've now come to define it, that AI, things that make the system look smart, it's enormous. We've got so much we can do to make our business systems far more approachable and far more effective in terms of both the staff of companies and of their customers. And I think all of that in terms of predicting behavior, operationalizing change, being able to find automatically and prescribe process improvements, those are all parts of AI that are very real and very much on our radar.
Your stock has been on fire this year. What is the market betting on?
I think they're betting that there's a lot of headroom and that we've got a differentiated product. Because the way we think about this problem, I will tell you, is different. And we're counting on that difference being right.
Do you get the question, hey, Salesforce, they're so aggressive, they're so big. How do you respond to investors?
I think the market needs high quality competition for just about everyone. And being able to work in conjunction with Salesforce, or being able to work as an alternative to Salesforce, I think puts us in a great position and in a well-architected position to make our customers' needs whole.
Lastly, on a personal note, I mean, you founded this company. What has this journey been like for you, and what's your goal looking at over the next 20, 30 years? Where do you see yourself?
Well,
you're a young guy.
20 or 30 years is a long time, but I've got a lot of energy for the firm. And it doesn't feel like a 3 decades old company. We've continually reinvented ourselves from the way we look at the market to the technology itself. And so I think we've got a lot of runway, and I'm excited about running it.
What would you give what type of advice would you give that kid sitting in college, graduating right now? They see you, they want to create something like you.
Well, I think persistence is one of the really important things to build something that's lasting. And a lot of kids today, a lot of little companies, or even medium and bigger size companies, they're not in it to really deliver ultimate outcomes. What they're in it to do is turn a quick buck a lot of times, build something, flip it, let the next organization or let the acquirer worry about the headaches. I don't think that's a high quality way to run one's life, and I think it really ties deeply to our values as a firm.
Well, definitely a success story. Thank you so much for joining us.